Good morning, guys. Gonna wait for a few of you guys to hop on here. So I'll give everybody about another 2 minutes to get set up and hop on. So this is probably going to take about, you can probably be prepared for about 20 minutes. I've got a couple of poses that will hold for not really any more than 2 to 3 minutes. And there's none that are super complicated. Hi, Ricardo. Hi, Martha. Hi, Brooke. What's up, Turner? All right, guys, probably about another minute and then we'll get rolling. If you need to grab a mat or if you haven't already grabbed a mat, that would probably be about the only thing you'll need. There's not, I've tried to choose, especially for this first go round, some pretty simple poses, nothing that's gonna cause any issues. If you need to grab like a pillow or something to situate underneath your hips, there might be a need for that for maybe one pose. All right. Well, let's get rolling. We're gonna start, can everybody see me okay? I'll try to position myself so that you can see me. All right, so we're gonna start with a pose called puppy dog. So you're gonna reach your hands out in front of you, and then you're gonna bring your chest down towards the floor, keep your hips up towards the ceiling, and just stretch out the upper back and the pecs. And if you can, rest your head down on the floor, just relaxing the neck. Just focus on taking in some deep breaths and exhaling, especially if the position is uncomfortable. Some big, deep belly breaths to get some air into the lungs. If at any point you become uncomfortable in any of the positions, just kind of sit up, relax for a second, and you can ease yourself back into the position. If it becomes unbearable, just hang tight until we move to the next position. All right, let's come on up. So now we're gonna move our right foot forward. You're just gonna come into a position called dragon. So I'm gonna lift your chest up, just apply some pressure to the knee, pushing yourself away, similar to a lunge stretch. But remember, we want to not arch the lower back, just kind of keep the chest lifted a little. Just trying to think about actively pressing the hips down towards the floor, getting a stretch through that quad muscle. Got about another 30 seconds left here. All right, let's go ahead and switch legs. Turner, I just saw your name recommendation. I approve. So I want you guys to think about this not necessarily as being like a super meditative yoga practice, but more along the lines of, like I mentioned last night, just stretching, working on our range of motion, making the best of this time that we can while we cannot be in the gym. And like Jordan's mentioned several times, utilizing this time to catch up on some reading, deepening your knowledge of fitness or anything you want to deepen your knowledge on. And, you know, using this as an opportunity to work on any weaknesses you have. Maybe working on some frog stands, to work on some handstand progressions. Stretching is always good for the muscles. Another 30 seconds on this side. And like I said, while this is not exactly a yoga practice, if you want to focus on your breathing, just some deep inhales and exhales. All right, go ahead, come on out of that pose. Let's bring ourselves onto our seats bones or sits bones, your derriere, your butt, whatever you want to call it. All right, and let's bring our legs into a position like this. This is bound angle. Your knees or your feet don't have to be like in really close to you, just kind of enough so that you can bring some space down, or limit that space between, and just bring the chest down towards your feet. Get a stretch in the inner thigh area, lower back. If you want to stretch the neck out a little, you can dangle the head down towards the feet too. Just kind of hang out. The more calm you can be in a position, the deeper the stretch will go. And you'll oftentimes find too that the longer you've been sitting in that position, the stretch may deepen a little bit. You may fall a little further into place. You got about another 45 seconds left in this pose. So again, like I said, if you've softened some of the tissue up a little bit and you want to kind of rock a little from side to side, see if you can get a little deeper into the stretch, into the pose. Just 10 more seconds. All right, let's go ahead and come on out of that position. If you want to position yourself into Happy Baby, one of my favorites. So you're gonna bring the knees up towards the chest, open the legs. If you want to grab the outsides of your feet, you can if that's more comfortable. Some people find it easier to grab with your two pointer fingers in between the toes and just hold the legs open like this and just relax. Again, same thing here. If you want to rock a little from side to side, kind of massage the lower back into the floor. Get some movement there. All right, go ahead, relax. Come on out of that pose. All right, now we're going to go into child's pose. So similar to puppy dog. Pretty basic yoga pose here, but this time we want our hips down towards the floor. We're gonna reach the hands up away from the body, bring the chest down towards the floor. And I'm also gonna add another element to this to stretch out the shoulders a little bit. So bring your head down to the floor and then take your arms or your hands, bend to the elbow and place the hands on the neck. Just kind of hang out here. All right, we're gonna stay in child's pose, but I want you to bring your hands back out and reach away from the body. Get a big stretch towards, and stretch out the upper back. All right, go ahead, come on out of that pose. Now we're gonna move back into 1 minute of puppy dog. So again, bring the hands out, hips up this time, and chest still goes down towards the floor. Again, if you can rest your head on the floor, some of you may have the flexibility to bring your chest all the way down to the floor. That's awesome. Some of us may need to work on just getting into this position and being able to bring our chest anywhere closer down towards the floor. But like I've already mentioned, you've got plenty of time to work on things like this. All right, let's come back out of that pose. Now we're gonna move into one of the more complicated poses just because a lot of times it's uncomfortable for people to sit in this position. So this is the one I was mentioning you may want a pillow for. So right here, just saddle pose. Some people find it more comfortable to bring their feet out to the side of their thighs or legs, or you can sit on your feet. We're just gonna sit in this position. If you need a pillow, you can place a pillow underneath you. And we're just gonna lean back. And just go to a point where you feel comfortable. A little bit of a stretch, but don't overdo it. This should feel really good for all of you guys that ran, biked, rode yesterday, or hit up those lunges and air squats. Hi Anna, hi Glenn. What's up, Greg? For those of you that jumped in late, you will be able to rewind the video and go back to hit up all the poses that you missed out on. About another 30 seconds here, guys. All right, let's come out of that pose. Come into a straddle. So not a saddle, but a straddle. So you're gonna literally just spread your feet out as far apart as you can. And then we're just gonna take our upper body, the chest, to lean down towards the floor. Once again, some of you may be able to lie all the way flat onto the floor, especially those of you that were gymnasts. But again, like I've mentioned in most of the other poses, just go to a point where you feel a stretch, but no pain. And we're gonna spend 2 minutes here, so you may find that after being in this position for about a minute, some of the muscle tissues have softened a little and you'll be able to go a little further into the pose. It doesn't matter where you place your hands. If you want your hands along your legs to pull you down a little further, or if you want the hands in the center. Some people walk their hands out to reach. Give me about another 30 seconds here. So if you feel like you can drop a little further, ease yourself down. And again, if any position becomes uncomfortable, remember you can always sit up, take a deep breath in, shake out the legs, and then ease yourself back in. Just 5 more seconds. All right, good. All right, let's bring one leg in. So we're gonna do a single leg forward fold, like this. And then you're gonna lift up, reach, and then reach down towards that foot. If you can hold on to your foot to pull yourself down, deepen that stretch. If it's hard for you to get your leg flush with the floor, you can use your other hand to push down and apply some pressure to get a stretch through that hamstring. If you find that you can't reach your foot, again, just find a place that you can feel a stretch and that you're not pushing yourself to a point of pain. The goal here is not to pull any muscles or injure ourselves while we are quarantined. right, you've got 30 seconds left on this side, so if you can pull yourself a little further, now is the time. Oh, what's up, Cody? Evan, Alec. It's a party. All right, 5 seconds. And we're just gonna switch to the other side. This is our last pose, guys. I know we say this all the time, but stretching really is beneficial for the muscles, muscle recovery, lengthening the muscles, softening the tissue. Most of the time it's not our favorite thing to do, but if you can allot the time for it, it's good for you. And you don't have to do an hour a day, just if you only have 15 minutes, make the most of that 15 minutes. We've done probably 9 or 10 poses, and we've held them for longer periods of time, but truly, if you can just give yourself 30 seconds a day in each one of those poses and stretch out the different muscles, you'll find great benefit. 10 seconds left, guys. All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys for hopping on here with me. It's been fun, and we'll do it again. Y'all have a great rest of your day.